Let's see, what does it say? We stand in solidarity with the global south, the working class, with indigenous peoples, with refugees, and everyone else exploited by the capitalist system. Amen to that. So this here is the Bolivian embassy. We're here, it's 12th of October. And the idea has been to mark the start of 500 years of genocide. That was the arrival of Columbus in Abya, now known as the Americas. They used to call it Columbus Day, but now we call it Day of Indigenous Resistance. I'm really... The coup was, the coup that happened in November last year, I believe it was like a continuation of 500 years of genocide against indigenous peoples. ¿Qué tal? Vamos a decir algo en español porque seguro que en un minuto vamos a hablar algo en español. Aprieta.
Yeah, okay, go ahead. Okay, this is great, isn't it? Look at the marching. We're marching in the embassy area. Look at the Wipalas. Look at the Wipalas in the horizon. It's a national organization.
Ah, sí, pero es de Chile en apoyo al...
Ecuador.
No es
Asamblea Nacional Ciudadana.
Yo pensé cuando dice... yo pensé que era...
Nacional Ciudadana por los derechos y la dignidad.
Sí,
Estamos aquí desde la Asamblea Nacional Ciudadana por los derechos y la dignidad en el Ecuador. Estamos apoyando en este momento a esta lucha de los indígenas para que dejen de matar a mucha gente. Y también estamos protestando en contra del cambio climático, en contra del Fondo Monetario Internacional y el World Bank, que con sus medidas económicas lo que está haciendo está destruyendo no solamente el planeta, pero también está provocando una extrema pobreza a nivel mundial.
Gracias. Ok, bien. Y la situación en Ecuador se está volviendo más complicado ahora. Va a haber elecciones, creo.
Sí, va a haber elecciones en el próximo año. El problema es que este gobierno vendido, igual está queriendo eliminar a nuestros candidatos o quieren dejarnos prácticamente sin elecciones y están utilizando la excusa de que no hay dinero. Pero sin embargo, si ha habido dinero para pagar al Fondo Monetario Internacional, sin embargo, si ha habido dinero para perdonar a los millonarios más de 4.5 millones de dólares. Para eso se ha habido dinero y también para que todo ese dinero se roben todos estos políticos y a la cabecilla María Paula, que ha repartido los hospitales de una manera terrible, dejando al pueblo ecuatoriano sin medicinas, sin hospitales, ahora sin médicos, sin enfermeros. Eso es lo que eso es lo que ha provocado este gobierno al pueblo ecuatoriano. Ha disminuido más de 1.5 billones de la estructura social que necesitamos para agua, alcantarillado, educación, carreteras, parques, etcétera, etcétera. Es un gobierno totalmente nefasto, es un gobierno dictador y es un gobierno criminal.
Entonces lo que estamos viendo en Ecuador, tanto que en Bolivia, es, digamos, un regreso del neoliberalismo.
Prácticamente es un regreso al neoliberalismo, porque este gobierno ecuatoriano lo que ha hecho simplemente caer al Fondo Monetario Internacional, solamente como excusa para poder repartirse nuestros recursos, para privatizar todos nuestros recursos, los minerales, las petroleras, nuestros servicios de aviación, también nuestros servicios de trenes. Y en este momento tantos millones que ha gastado el pueblo ecuatoriano, ahora se está pasando a manos de los millonarios en el Ecuador y vendiéndoles a precio de huevo podrido.
Gracias, gracias. A ver, ahora estamos fuera de la Embajada de España.
Hey, Cap!
Hello.
Hello. Okay, well, the reason why we've come to this place today is because around this square you can see all the flags of the countries that have attacked, invaded, erased, and destroyed, cultures around the world. Right here in this park in central London, there is a statue of Christopher Columbus that was gifted by the Spanish government in 1992 as a gift to Great Britain as a 500th anniversary since Christopher Columbus expedition, they call it, around the world. I call it genocide and I call it ecocide, because what Christopher Columbus found was not, what he brought to our land was not peace and was not expedition. He brought extraction, he brought death, he brought diseases. So thank you everybody here for today, coming today. We will be organizing an action against Christopher Columbus' statue. Today, 12 October, 528 years ago, when he arrived, the first genocidal man into Abya Yala. And we're here today, 12 October 2020, to commemorate the day when the resistance for us started against the European colonizers. So thank you all for here, and let's get the drumming going, and anyone else that wants to speak. I think we have Gail here from Extinction Rebellion, which some of us are from, and supporting the Bolivia Solidarity Campaign. And this is what it takes for us to come together. All movements, all flags, all religions, cultures, everything. We almost fight for the same cause. So thank you everyone, and let's do a little demonstration for the colonizer flags or countries that are here today. So next up, Gail Cathro, co-founder of Extinction Rebellion, is going to speak about solidarity action that we're doing here today. So thank you, Gail, for coming down and supporting Exile.
Hi, thank you. It's a real honour to be here. I didn't know I was going to speak, so it's a bit off the cuff. Should I face this way? Is that better? Feels a bit odd. When we're talking about our histories of resistance and remembering that resistance began many, many years ago, what I remember is my history from this country when Boudica resisted the Roman Empire. It was about AD 60. So I think it's really important, especially for white people from this country, to know that our separation from these lands was done to us in a very brutal way. The Celtic peoples were pushed to Mona, to Anglesey, and they were slaughtered. And that was the moment when the land was broken for us. And that wasn't the end of the process. The process continued for many years in different ways, but one of it was that women in particular were burnt as witches. So if you were a midwife, if you were a herbalist, if you were an older woman with a hairy chin, frankly, you were and we're not sure how many, it was around 80% women, we're not sure how many people were burned and killed as witches, but it's possibly pushing 1 million. And I once sat with 2 herbalists, and I was just actually getting very excited about elderflower's ability to treat hay fever. And they said, yeah. And I was like, why don't you tell everybody that? And they were silent as herbalists, still, with the body memory that it's not safe in this country to speak about plants. And I know that we don't have that in a very strong way in our consciousness, but I think for me decolonisation is something that starts in our own bodies. The clearance has happened in Scotland, the enclosures happened to ordinary people in England and Wales to push us off the land. It's been an ongoing process. So we gave up. We didn't give up. We fought like Boudica fought, and we got a statue next to the Houses of Parliament of her. You know, she fought like hell. Her daughters were raped by the Romans. We resisted, and we were broken at some point, and then we allowed that to carry on and be done to other people. Just remember, it was done to ourselves. This is not an excuse, folks. This is us saying that we have to heal our own wound of separation from the land. And I also, I guess I want to say that I so honour the indigenous traditions of South America. They've saved me in such beautiful ways, in that I've had the deep honour to sit in ceremony with a tradition from Mexico, with a native leader there, and in a way that the ceremony has been gifted to Western people. It's not an act of appropriation. I feel very clear about that. It's been a healing journey, and it's a journey of remembering my own indigeneity, my own connection to these lands, and I think that's from where our solidarity and our coming together can build, from our own connection to these lands. And in that way, you know, the HS2 resistance, when we say it's our Amazon, is absolutely correct. When do we start to remember the tree beings, the standing people, as our relatives? When do we really feel that in our bones? Is when we know that we've made this shift of internal decolonisation. And I think what's really exciting, actually, scientifically, we're getting the understanding now of the relationship between trees. You know, I mean, it's something that indigenous people have known for many years, is that the trees communicate with each other. There's a mother tree. The mother tree feeds other trees. She feeds her offspring more than others, but through the internet that's known as the mycorrhizal fungi, they speak to each other, and trees learn. And it's not a metaphor, they actually learn from each other, they learn from their experiences. And so the science is catching up in some ways with both spirituality and with indigenous wisdom. And I wanted to maybe end by telling this story that I found really beautiful from Robin Wall Kimmerer's book called Braiding Sweetgrass. Have people heard of that book? Robin Wall Kimmerer is both a distinguished professor of biology, a medal professor, and a member of the First Nation people of Potawatomi people. I'm reminding myself to speak about Money Rebellion and Wetiko as well. But you know, what I think we're doing here is healing this domination paradigm, known also in the Algonquin languages as Wetiko. So Robin tells this story whereby she's going with folks to harvest the sweetgrass. And in all cases, there's an honouring before you take the grass, and the law is that you don't take more than half, and you give the tobacco in thanks to the sweetgrass, and you make your harvest. And sweetgrass is suffering, and some people harvest it by pulling it up through the roots, and some people harvest by snapping the sweetgrass. And so her students were there to study which of the sweetgrass harvesting mechanisms were the appropriate one. And you know, when you do science like that, of course you have a controlled population of sweetgrass. Anybody know, was it the one where you snap, or the one where you pull up the roots that suffered the most from the harvesting? It's a trick question. It's the control group that never got harvested that struggles. And the point is that sweetgrass needs us in relationship to harvest her. You know, we are part of nature, and we harvest sweetgrass, and sweetgrass thrives as a result if we follow the law of sweetgrass, which is don't take more than half. So it doesn't matter how you harvest it, as long as you don't take more than half. And the sweetgrass wants us to harvest. So Robin Wall Kimmerer said when she asked her students talk about the destruction by humans of nature, they gave a load of examples and said, tell us about a place where we have a positive interaction with nature. And they couldn't think of one. And that would be an example. And I think it's really important that we remember when we talk about reciprocity and relationship with nature, it's not an actual thing where nature needs us. It needs us to stop doing what we're doing, but it needs us to remember how to be in relationship with in the way we do agroecology, in the way we farm, in the way that we relate to the land, in the way that we connect is part of that reciprocity, and that's what I think decolonisation actually looks like from the inside, and obviously it's so much bigger than that. So I think, for me at least, standing in solidarity with campaigns across the world is not just about saying, what can we do here, how can we amplify voices, how can we use our platform to speak about your campaign. It's also to say, sister, I want you to know as your little sister, actually, that we're doing the work. The women, I'm speaking as a woman now, the women are sitting around the fire, we're doing our healing work, we're reconnected to our indigeneity as a place to source ourselves from, because this change is not going to come from the intellect. The damage in humanity is baked into our wetiko, fucked up brains, and we're on a path of understanding that. And the wetiko is no more showing up in the political economy of this world, which is, I know you don't need me to tell you, rapacious, extractivist, colonist, and so on. And the way that we can attack that, not attack it, so it's jiu-jitsu actually, the way we can bring that down is to refuse to participate in this political economy in the way that it's set up. And we can do it in many ways, and that's what Money Rebellion that's coming from Extinction Rebellion is about. Non-payment of taxes that have funded destruction, non-payment of debts. Why would we keep paying our debts off to these institutions that are raping the world? And one of the particular actions that I'll leave you with that may amuse is that we are making donations on behalf of Barclays Bank. So if you're able, if you've got the right credit limit and so on, if you can get a credit card with Barclays Bank, you make a donation on their behalf, reparations to campaigns and so on. So Survival International, for example, are receiving donations. So we're just getting that off the ground at the minute. So I think Westerners, to use our power to access these stupid financial markets, is just take the money and get it where it's needed. That's part of removing that eco from our bodies. Anyway, it's a real honour to be here and stand with your sister and brother and